Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my Objective Personality Extravaganza. Today I'm going to be typing everybody's favorite inmate, Martha Stewart. So I actually didn't know very much about Martha Stewart until I started working on this video. Obviously I knew her as a household name and as somebody who was shrouded in a little bit of controversy. Basically she's a television personality, a teacher, a businesswoman. She's got a lot under her belt, a lot of notches on her bedpost. I don't know about all that, but what I do know is that this video is going to be sort of a hybrid between my last video. I'm filming on my phone, so I'm going to have a little bit better quality, and then I'm going to be doing some screen recording to hopefully fuse it all together in the crucible of Shotcut, which is a free bit of software for video editing. If you make videos and you don't know what to use to edit your videos, I highly recommend it. But it's not a sponsor. Ding! Okay, let's jump right to it. The one thing that's painfully obvious to me is that she's not blast last. Teaching is such a pivotal, crucial, foundational, adjectival part of her career, and we can see, not that we really need evidence for this, because I'm feeling pretty certain about this one, but in this clip here we can see her in the zone, see her as a teacher giving lessons in this montage.
Perfect cafe latte, the perfect ganache, how to make the perfect bed. That is a very nice egg. Perfect.
So not only is she teaching us about cooking, but she's teaching us about homemaking. This lady does it all. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to climb into the dock here and eliminate all of the lasters. All of these bastards. Goodbye, blaster boys. I love the two columns here together, the sandwich. Blaster sandwich, and this is also blast last. I'm also suspecting that she's info dominant because she's written over 90 books, at least at the time of one of these interviews I watched. Knowing her work ethic, it might be like upwards of 200 right now. So if she is info dominant, that would mean that she isn't missing consume either, because she would need to have both blast and consume in her top 3 animals. She would need a way of taking this information in and then expelling it out. And she does talk a lot about how she's always interested in learning and how she's very curious, but I wanted something a little more concrete, and this is what I found.
What do you read? How do you keep up to date on things?
I don't read novels very much because life is much better than any novel. I read the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, every single day. A little bit of the Post, but I watch early morning TV on my treadmill and with my trainer. And it's business. It's MSNBC or CNBC, those two.
And Bloomberg?
Yeah, of course, Bloomberg's in the radio. No, that's the radio. That's on the drive-in. And that's on the radio.
So as we can see here, she's sort of citing her sources, and it almost feels a little bit like she's peacocking, like, oh yeah, I take in so much information. Yeah, totally. Now that being said, I'm not gonna call her out on that just yet, but that's just a vibe that I get. It could be that she's a lead consumer. The one thing that we can say for certain is that she's not missing consume. Maybe we can't even say that for certain, but for the sake of this video, I feel comfortable asserting that. So we'll go into the dock here and eliminate anything that's missing consume. We have a consume sandwich here in the blaster quadrant, and we'll get rid of this fellow over here as well. Awesome. I also get the impression that Martha is organize over gather, and that impression is coming from a lot of stuff that she says in her interviews about the importance of being focused, the importance of narrowing in, having this funnel. She says that if you lack focus and you're going to head in the wrong direction, And it's obviously something that's very important to her. Now, this could be a demon that she's come to appreciate. So I tried to keep that in mind as I was watching more footage. But then I found this.
You're a successful stockbroker. You're young. It's exciting. You're having a great time. And you quit, and you move to the country. I'm thinking, is she just waving the white flag and she's just going to become a housekeeper?
That's when I started developing my idea that change is good. Learn as much as you can, move on.
But what were you moving on to?
Well, I was moving on to something new.
What was that new thing moving to the country?
We bought a house.
Right.
And I was commuting from an old rickety house, Turkey Hill Road, 1805 farmhouse, and I wanted to see what I could do with it.
The key piece there is that she started developing her idea that change is good, as if this is something that no one has ever thought of before, So it's something that she kind of takes for granted that other people also don't believe this, and that she's sort of generating a novel insight, which is to say that gathering, taking in new information, this is something that is a learned perspective. So we are going to go ahead and eliminate anything that is Savior Gather, which is hard for me to say as somebody who does have Savior Any. Goodbye to you. Cool beans. So then I went looking for what's missing. Is she missing sleep or is she missing play, given that she's info-dominant? And I'm fairly certain that she is missing sleep. She's a bit of a workaholic. There was one clip where an interviewer said, well, what do you do if you get sick? And she said, oh, I don't get sick. Who has time for that? That's a waste of time. And I think that at some point she might crash. She might experience a major burnout, but that time has not come yet. And then you can see her being playful. You can see her expending energy for the tribe and her, instructional videos as well. So we will go ahead and eliminate anything with play last. So that one really did a number to the board here. We're really zeroing in. She's some kind of IJ or some kind of EJ. I'm also suspecting that she's a double decider. She'll say things like, when I engage in X, Y, and Z, I'll learn something new and I'll also give a benefit to the audience. Or this is something that's really important to me, which I learned from my father. There's that pivoting, that natural fluctuation between those two perspectives. And another thing that caught my eye was that she was talking about how she has to be very apolitical with her work based on her readership. She knows that she has an obligation, although she has a firm set of ethical and political values, she knows that 50% of her readership is going to be leaning in the opposite direction politically, and actually 50% of her employees might be as well. And so she has to keep that in mind. She's not so hell-bent on pushing that perspective out there against, the desires and the rationale of other people. So, yeah, I think that's it's a safe bet in my book. We'll go ahead and eliminate these guys down here with their identity issues. I'm a little shaky on this next choice. I'm trying to decide between sensory and intuition. And it seems to me that she's really concerned with controlling the physical world and the space around her. And that's the sort of thing that you would have to be able to do competently in order to lead these lessons on cooking, and in order to manage people, in order to manage concrete happenings in a business. So I'm going to go ahead and eliminate the ends. So finally, the question here is she an ISFJ or is she an ISTJ? And to me, got pretty shadowy in here for a second. To me, it just seems really clear that she's more of the blockhead, sort of like, here are the facts, and this is what we're working with. And again, I think that's something that would serve you in a business setting. This is sort of I think, a poor example of reasoning and how to do the OP method, but I'm just giving you, like, on the basis of what I've found, this is what I can see. This is as clear as it is for me. And I'm also thinking that she's double masculine. So the, well, you know, she's a stickler for getting everything right in a sensory way. And I also think that she's pretty firm with the tribe, and that's something that has actually served her well. People have been very impressed by her demeanor. And you can also see the opposite side of that coin, and that I think she has a feminine internal decider. She talks a lot about how her passions will change with time. Nothing is really fixed, and that's sort of the whole thing behind having a masculine external decider and a feminine internal decider. You need to be firm with the tribe in order to allow that internal decider space to wriggle and move and make the adaptations that it needs to make. So that leaves us with double masculine, SITE, blast, play, consume, sleep. What do you guys think? Did I do okay? Is there anything that you disagreed with? Have you hit that bell icon yet? It's getting awful lonely down there. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, commenting. I greatly appreciate you guys, as always. So I'll talk to you next time.